if you get a job, trust me, I mean, if you can't perform in a certain role, they will give you a notification, we don't need you. I mean,
Obviously, I mean,
simple as
you're
that. You're doing studies, plus I'm sure part-time jobs as well. So
so I
how
know how
question for
hard that
me,
is.
any regrets being here in the UK, from are you missing too much India now, you want to go
That
back?
experience helped me for that Canadian job interview. They just called me
Absolutely.
randomly for, and that interview went for at least 45 minutes. They asked me
What I
every
said
question, and they
earlier
were
as
very.
well, but we are at the point where the engineers are required, but there's no qualified engineers out there. So that's where I believe there will be a point where that bubble is going to burst actually, and it will start. Trust me, it will start at a point that will recruit your engineers with to provide the sponsorship. Yes, you are indeed. How are you, Anuja? After a long time. It's nice to meet you. Yeah.
How about you, sir? I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm very well. Yeah, thank you very much. And before, yeah, I asked yourself about your introduction. You are one of my first sort of, yeah, earlier subscriber, and I'm sure you'll keep updating yourself, yeah, all along. And thank you very much for that. And the main sole reason of is still going actually my YouTube channel is because of the actually students like yourself. To be honest,
Thank you.
you're giving me encouragement actually, so someone is gaining a bit of a knowledge actually, and that's where it gives me a bit of motivation as well to pass on, yeah, more and more information. So I do remember my earliest sort of, yeah, the subscribers by name actually. So when you send me a message that would you remember me, so definitely, yeah, I won't, I won't lose you. Actually, you were one of my earliest subscriber, and it's good actually you are following all along. I'm not sure how helpful that is, but obviously I'm trying my best actually to share whatever I know from the industry here in the UK, and
Yes.
I hope, I mean, that's going to help you along. But I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. For your information, this is a recorded video, and I'm going to share on my YouTube channel as well. If you don't have any sort of reservation, any issues with that, I'm sure, because the questions you raised, you shared, thank you very much for those. I mean, they are very common question, especially for the graduates. So that will benefit, yeah, a lot of graduates, yeah, out here as well. So I'm sure, yeah, that's going to be a shared collaboration actually. If I'm explaining to yourself, that will be effective to others as well, that can benefit as well. But yeah, I will just introduce yourself and then we can talk about your questionnaire. But before that, yeah, I need to ask you some question as well, actually. So the floor is yours. Yeah, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, sure, sure. My name is Anuja. Actually, I did my bachelor's from India, Nagpur University in civil engineering. From Nagpur University from 2017 to 2021. I have completed it on September 21. Just after completion of bachelor's, I came here for my master's in structural engineering. And I asked about you. I asked you as well for the courses. In my mind, it was from very beginning that I need to go on a technical side, so
Right.
that's why I chose structural engineering from Coventry University.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm in my second semester and I have my exams in April first week. After that, going to graduate in September 22 and applying for graduate role from last 3 or 4 months, getting lots of rejection, interview calls as well, but it didn't help yet. Hope so. We'll find some job in
No, no,
future.
that's part of the game actually. Yeah, getting, at least, I mean, if you're getting the calls, I mean, that's a big thing actually. So at least you'll be noticed actually. That's a good thing. And I generally say to the students, like you need to be at the forefront, basically apply as soon as possible to the jobs. That's where you learn, actually during your study you learn the process, so you use to the system actually how the system works, because it's different, I'm sure it's different than your home country. So you need to use to that system, and it really helps actually. By the time you complete your degree, it just helps you understand the whole system, how the system works, and you adopt to the same system. And I'm sure somewhere down the line, I mean, there will be a call, and that you will be ticked off. I
Yeah,
mean, it's this is this
just one call and every hard work just worth it.
Exactly. That is the case. Okay, before we get into your questionnaire, Anuj, I would like you to just ask you a few questions. This is a really common question by many students actually. Obviously you are experienced, you have now experience, I mean, studying in the UK, and you are a recent sort of, yeah, actually here in the UK as well, so you can provide you the best answers. Actually, it's just a comparison between the studies. Actually, what do you find, what are the challenges? Actually, obviously you straight from India, sort of university study there, and now you came here to the UK doing your masters. What are the main challenges that you would see actually you're facing here?
Uh, First of all, sir, I would not say it's easy. If you are going for a technical course, they are not spoon feeding you. They just give you the assignment and the brief, what the requirements they want from you.
Mhm.
And just after that, you need to research a lot, because in India and Pakistan, we used to just read a book and learn
Exactly.
that question, and on that pattern, we just solve the answers over there, the question paper. Here, you
Mhm.
don't have that kind of education. Here, you need to find everything. If you want to copy from something from Google, the flag will definitely catch you. So you need to
Exactly.
research a lot. Like in my case, I didn't know anything about ANSYS when I was in India.
Right.
And I think you know about ANSYS software.
Yes.
ANSYS software mostly comes in the civil engineering umbrella. So I didn't know anything about you. And my first assignment was on the basis of ANSYS, and our professor didn't teach anything about that. And right now we are studying in finite element analysis
Mhm.
about the ANSYS. So I just go through every YouTube videos, research how to make a cantilever beam and all. So here you have to research, you have to have research,
Yes.
you don't have any other option, and you need to form a report on it. And if you are from management side, they prefer or your opinion. Like if you are in tourism field, they don't ask anything question about tourism and all, they just need your opinion. What do you think about this field and this field? So you have to write report on that. Maybe management side is a bit easier as compared to technical here. And the question papers are also tough, like you have open book exam.
Mhm.
So you have everything, but you need to solve that question, and that question is not that easy what we are thinking of.
No, absolutely
Hard.
agree. No, absolutely agree, Anuj. You need to understand the concept
Yeah.
before you get through the actually the exam or whatever they are expecting actually. And especially, I would add the MSc student. The university do expect that they have gone through those challenges already, because we are from different background. Obviously, we haven't gone through those sort of checks, but I'm sure the students here, if they're doing BSc level here in the UK, they have already gone through that process. So they would be in the same fashion when they reach the MSc. And in fact, I would add actually, MSc, you would see really minimal number of the UK sort of, yeah, students there. And the main reason is because they're going through so rigorous through the BSc, and they got a job straight away because they're going for 4 years, they're going through that process, and they easily find their way actually into in the industry. So that's one of the reasons you don't see many local actually MSc students. And I'm sure you can vouch that as well. Like, I mean, how many you see the white people here doing MSc? Actually, I
Yeah,
don't see.
in my first semester, there were only maximum 10 people, and on that, seven of us are from India, Pakistan. Two is from Pakistan, five is from India, and three is from African country. No one was there for uh, British people. No one was there,
Yeah,
and you have to do. You don't have any other option, because you made a lot of money on this, and you
absolutely.
done that.
No, that's really important. I do share in my videos as well. Like, you need to make up your mind. You actually, you need to have a set of mind. This is what my goal is, and I need to achieve that. It's not as if you can't do it. I'm sure so many people have done it. It's not something unachievable or something you can't do. I'm sure you can do it as long you are committed. Like, I mean, this is my goal. I have to do it. And the good thing I found actually studying in the UK is there lots of resources available. So they give you the library access, all the other actually the login details, and even the professors. I mean, they are actually open to 24/7. If you ask any question, they're so helpful there as well. that side is always open. It's up to yourself how much knowledge you can gain actually from that
one
resources.
one
That's
more
the
thing, one more thing I want to add, that every university has a career uh, page as well, career team as well. You have to reach out there as well, because what they are gonna help you, you don't know. They just post every Thursday. Like for my university, they post every Thursday the graduate jobs, which I didn't find in LinkedIn and all. There is lots of job where they know, because they have direct contact from the university company as well. Like one of my career team member, they refer me for the Australian job, because Australian company needs some graduate civil engineer from UK as well. So they refer me and they mailed me from Australia that we need your updated CV, and this is this I got referred for you. So I just mailed them everything and they gave me a form as well. Likewise in Canada as well. I just forgot to ask you, tell you that I got bit confirmed job letter from Canada as well, but they want me as a immediate start from May or June. But I have to complete my masters. I asked them, I mailed them, but fault was mine. But I just applied on it and I didn't read the immediate start. I read there, but I didn't think that they are
No, no,
looking
no.
for
That's absolutely. I mean, there will be opportunities, Anuj. I'm sure there will be opportunities around. I mean, don't go yourself to that sort of your limits. That okay, I lost that, or that was the opportunity. No, that's absolutely fine. I mean, this is part of the game, as I said. As long, I mean, now you are in the process. You have understood the process, basically how the process works, and that's what I said. I mean, by the time you complete your dissertation and you got the degree, I'm sure, yeah, you it will be a straightforward, yeah, process for yourself. You already gone through that process, and this is really pleasing actually to hear you are receiving actually this positive response from around the globe. I mean, that is the beauty of, yeah, studying here in the UK. I mean, you get a tag actually. Yeah, you study from the UK, and that's the beauty of it. UK, you can spread around actually wherever you
the
wish.
money or hard work gives you a value of your education. Um, and one more thing, to score over here is a bit difficult, because they don't want to put you in your head. Yeah, they just want how much you did, you will get. So
uh,
they are checking very hard. Like for courses,
Yeah,
they don't.
that's transparency, Anuj. I should say that's a transparency. Actually, if you done whatever is required of you, you will get the maximum. And if you are not, basically, so this pure merit there. So that's what I found, and that's the beauty of the system actually. If you're working hard and you understand your subject, I'm sure you masters, yeah, that subject, yeah, easily. And you ticked off, yeah, boxes as well, and that goes exactly the same way in the actually the practical industry as well. I mean, if you get a job, trust me, I mean, if you can't perform in a certain role, they will give you a notification, we don't need you. I mean, simple as that. I mean, this is such a straightforward, yeah, industry here. And if you are performing, and trust me, they won't let you go, no matter what. I mean, even if they don't have sort of continuous projects around there, I mean, they will still keep you on hold. They will keep you forever if you're performing. That is the actually how the industry work, and I'm sure, yeah, you already, yeah, actually experienced that in your studies as well. Like everything is based on the merit. As long you're
Yes,
performing.
yes, yes. What you did, you will get. Simple as.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. That is the beauty, and that's what I like, yeah, the most actually. So as long you're performing, you're getting the reward. I mean, simple as that. And what are the other challenges? Like, obviously, I mean, you're doing studies, plus I'm sure, part-time jobs as well. So how hard that is actually.
Actually, it's very tough to manage everything, because like you don't know what on which days you have your part-time job. They just gave you message a week earlier that next week these days you have your part-time job, and you don't have any option to reject that, because you need to get at least 800 pounds for a month for your daily expenses as well as a rent and everything. And I have like my classes are on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So
All
if
right.
I got my job on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I have to adjust that.
Mhm.
Morning on class, night on shift, morning on class, night on shift. And then you have to make time for the application as well. And one application process takes time. you need to optimize your CV as compared to job description, so it takes time.
Hmm.
And mostly I will fill all the form on library because the environment over there will motivate you. And in house it's clearly depressed mall, no one is there. You need some surrounding as well to
Yeah,
do some.
absolutely. No, the environment does help actually. Yeah, the environment
Yeah,
does help.
and to make yourself very feel, you have to go some park as well. You don't, because you feel lonely if you do everything like this, study job, form job, you need a time for yourself as well, so you have to manage everything in a
And I
single.
absolutely agree. Yeah. So there's so much stuff. The main challenge, actually, especially when we move from overseas, especially India, Pakistan, because we have completely different culture there, and especially when you are a student, you are only a student, so you only do study. I mean, that's what you do over there, so you don't care about, yeah, what's going on around you. You actually, who's providing you, who's sustaining you, completely ignore that side of it. But here, everything you have to do yourself, so that's the huge sort of, yeah, the different culture you have to face here. But I'm sure, yeah, with the time,
Make.
and yeah, with that initial sort of struggle, one year with the study, I'm sure, yeah, everything just settles down actually. So once you get your permanent job, and it's just, yeah, keep you on your front foot actually. So that is your ultimate goal here anyway. I mean, to get your professional job here, and once you get that job, you just progress on your job, and which comes basically as a standard life. We call it like Monday to Friday you work, and weekend you have your own leisure time. I mean, that's how you spend your life here. So I'm sure this one year is the toughest, and after that, I mean, once you are on the job, then yeah, everything's settled down. Right. Yeah. No, that is really nice to hear from yourself. So, okay. Final question for me: any regrets being here in the UK? Are you missing too much India now? You want to go back? Any regrets?
uh, See, for first month is very difficult. If you will survive that first month, then you will good to go. That first month is very, because the culture difference and
Yeah.
the surrounding difference, no sound of beeping of horns and all. Everything is quiet over here. In India, we used to beep a lot, horn, t, but here it's totally quiet, and no one has nothing to do with you. You are all alone. In India,
That's
we
true.
have your friends and all. Here, you have your friends, but your friends have also their jobs and all. You are all alone. So you
Mhm.
need to survive your first month. You need to survive your first month because you didn't have the job on that time, and the pound conversion rate as per India, if you spend 1 pound, you thought that, oh, I spent 100 rupees. So that first month is very difficult. Very, if you survive that first month, you are good to go. After that, you are going to be so busy in your work
Yeah.
because you got your assignments, you got your exam date sheets, you got your jobs, you have to cook for yourself. So yeah, sometimes will miss my mom's food, but there is no option. You have to
No, there,
adjust.
there, there, there will be options will come along. I know, trust me. Down the line, once you get a job, I'm sure you can easily bring them over, and that's where the beauty comes along, basically. So you can easily sponsor them. They can come over.
September 21 to September 22, your real struggle is over there. You need to
Absolutely.
study everything. 1 year is very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Everyone
you
has
need
gone
to,
through it.
because that's where I generally say you need to prepare your mind. Your mindset should be there. Like at least, yeah, one year. That is my challenge actually, to adjust myself there. And as I said, I mean, once you go on through that initial phase, I'm sure it's just becomes a norm actually. As I said, I mean, like once you get a proper job, the professional job, that's the general, the life here is Monday to Friday you work, and weekend is yours actually. So no, that's really useful insight. Actually, the reason I asked this question, because there's so many similar questions. I mean, comes along, and they ask the same question, but if I repeat the same answers, I mean, they don't give the same value. So I thought you have experienced already actually, so it would be good actually to share these with the audience as well. I'm sure, yeah, they will
Everyone have
enjoy.
to go through it. Like you also has gone through it in your
Absolutely. No, I would vouch that actually, because it's been like a long time I've spent as a student life back in 2004, 5 actually, long time ago. But I would vouch that it was exactly the same what you are going through now. So it's no change at all actually.
Yeah,
The first year, that is the hardest you have to go through basically. That is the challenging time. And once you get actually the job, I mean, that's it. I mean, you just settle in. But it's just a
yeah,
norm life actually for yourself. But that's, yeah. Thank you very much, Anuj, for sharing your experience. And we will just, yeah, divert ourselves to your questionnaire. And I will share my screen. Right. So if you can see the screen.
yeah, yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much for sharing your questions. So it certainly helped me actually to do a bit of a research actually what the questions are, so I did my background search a bit there, so we can talk through each individual question there. I'm sure you, if you still got any sort of, yeah, issues, anything, so you can always come back to me. First question was regarding CV overview, correction, special tips, guidance. I briefly looked at your uh, can you see that your
Uh,
CV?
no, no, no. I can't.
No, so I need to share. Okay, I will reshare the CV. I've gone through your CV. I found a few things. I mean, like what I feel you need to just add, or just a bit of a changes there.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, yeah. I can see it.
Right. So yeah, that's Anuj. You need to add your title, your structure engineer. So make sure it's visible there. So straight away when I see someone there, Anuj, who's Anuj, so he's structure engineer. So you need that needs to be visible there. So with your name, just underneath there, you can add your structure engineer. About the that this is very good. So you got the LinkedIn there, so they can go. Make sure the CV, your CV ties in with your LinkedIn as well. Make sure all the details are consistent there as well. Yeah, all the contacts and everything, and all these details should be consistent with the LinkedIn profile. About the career objective, I believe actually with your experience, or so you mentioned a highly relevant experience of building design and construction modeling. This goes for me is going on the top basically. So you need to be simplify. I'm a MSc structural engineering student. You can state your about your internship where you done relevant to structural engineering, like relevant to your experience here in this one. Or maybe you can add, I mean, if you have similar dissertation you done, you can explain a bit more here. Or maybe you, I mean, if you identify your dissertation for MSc, like if that's relevant to your sort of your profile, structure engineer, you can add those details here. That's what you're doing, that's what you have done in the past. So that should be more relevant rather than, yeah, like here it's innovative using a range of software including obviously with internship. I mean, they would expect if you are basically writing that and using a range of software, so they expect you to be quite competent about all these softwares like answers, Revit. It's no harm if you are competent, that's fine. I mean, it's no issues about that. But obviously, looking at your experience, it's only internship. I mean, that's all you have in your experience. So for that purpose, I would say make it simplify, because don't forget, once you send this CV to the recruiter or to the employer, they will pinpoint all these points in the interview. Okay, tell me about, yeah, you got another using a range of softwares. Tell me about, yeah, what project you did. I mean, using ANSYS or using a Revit. So that's where the questions come along, and you need to be quite specific. Yeah, you are a graduate, so obviously you need to tie in your CV based on your graduate, rather than you have too much information there which you can't explain, especially at the interview stage. So I would say make it simplify. Make sure you write the most relevant information, what you have experienced, what you have gone through. I would say for yourself, I would say add, yeah, these internship or previous dissertation. Make sure the yeah the here I found actually this is inconsistent in terms of the font size. Make sure these are the minor sort of, yeah, mistakes, don't repeat them. See this one from there to
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
They're different sizes. So these are the minor. I mean, you need to be consistent about these because they do matter when you come to the screening, your CV screening. I mean, if they see actually you got different fonts or different sort of formats all along, they reject you straight away. You can't even manage your CV, how you can perform in the interview. So make sure you're consistent there. About the education, I would say if you've decided about dissertation, just add and expand on the dissertation what you're going to be doing, because this is quite actually needs to be um, like, I mean, you need to explain, yeah, the existing sort of, yeah, like structure engineering sort of topics there. So they need to understand what you're going to be doing, like, I mean, whether you're doing frame structure or building or some bridges sort of, yeah, dissertation relevant to that, or material like steel structure, concrete structure. That would be quite interesting actually for the industry, actually for the recruiter, because generally there will be contractor or there will be consultant, they will be interested to see, I mean, anyone have relevant sort of, yeah, um, the knowledge about the steel structure or concrete structure. So you need to bring, yeah, some keywords there. I've wrote actually a number of keywords there, which is relevant to yourself. Basically, you need to make sure you use them, literally all of them in your CV somehow. So that would be important in a sense that when the recruiter, I mean, they do a basically search, I mean, they need someone with structure design or structure analysis, so your CV appears there as well, because this is how the system works actually. So you need to make sure you use lots of these keywords. I mean, these are more relevant to yourself. It comes basic anywhere you can use them, or you can specifically just say, yeah, my key experience. You can do structure design, analysis, modeling, calculation. So these are very relevant to structure engineering. Calculation report, design report, analysis software, communication, health and safety, sustainability, carbon emission. These are few topics at the bottom: health and safety, sustainability, carbon emission. See if you have modules, I mean, that covers these topics, that is very relevant as well to the current industry. It's very common. You may get questions in the interviews about the latest sort of, yeah, about all these health and safety, sustainability, carbon emission. So if you have relevant sort of modules there, you can expand on those as well. This is what you study, the current legislation, what it says about the health and safety, similarly carbon emission. Nowadays, yeah, the 2050 sort of, yeah, the target zero, yeah, emission. So you need to have that understanding. I don't want you to masters them all, basically what I've written there. You need to have the basic understanding. Obviously, for as a graduate, you need to understand what they are actually. That is good enough for yourself. Obviously, for structure engineer, I would expect, yeah, the top, yeah, these ones you should understand and also have a bit of a knowledge as well, like, yeah, what structure design is, analysis, what structure modeling, calculations, how do you do calculations. So I'm expecting these ones for yourself as a structure engineer, a bit of a knowledge of these ones, like finite element. As a graduate, they won't expect you to be expert in even finite element analysis or design analysis software. They don't want you to be experienced or well, sort of, yeah, basically top notch there. You need to have the basic knowledge and basic understanding of these topics. I mean, that will be key for yourself. So make sure you use all those keywords in your CV. The more you use the keywords, the better actually. But I found that for yourself, I mean, this should be good enough actually. Once you use them, that should stand you out actually from the crowd.
okay.
Does that make
One
sense?
thing, one thing, like you say that dissertation, and like for my masters, I didn't uh, decided my topic for dissertation because it's for the next semester.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I am focusing on plastic theory, something related to plastic theory, like yielding and all. Like I did on my bachelor's as well, strength of paper blocks on their shapes and size. Because on that we were on the COVID. Uh, so I didn't decided my dissertation topic, so I can't apply on education section over there, like where
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
wrote the dissertation
Fair enough.
topic. And
Fair
other
enough.
than that, like for state your internship and previous study dissertation. So I mentioned that dissertation topic in downstairs in down work experience there, final year project. So I have to remove that from there to put up, or I should make them balance over career objective and work experience both.
Now, here in the career objective, you can work out research about various shapes of size of papers, design, improve quality of blogs. Yeah, so in the top, basically here, dissertation, yeah, improvement of, yeah, the quality level and space. Just the highlights of this. I would leave that there, but just the highlight from this you need to add here.
Oh yeah.
Just
So I should balance them. Yeah. So
but
I
yeah,
should
yeah,
just
you don't.
balance. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want you yet just to copy the whole thing over there. So just highlight from this. Yeah, like you say, analysis there. Yeah, that's a good thing. So you bring that keyword there. Team working. That's a good. Leadership is again like a leadership means you are leading teams there basically. But whether that was something you have done. I mean, if you have experience, I mean, leading the teams there, that's fair enough. But obviously, that would be something that will crop up in the maybe in the interview. How did you leadership quality? What leadership qualities you have, and how did you manage the teams? How was your yeah, basically communication with the as a team leader? So that's something you need to be aware of.
One more thing. I think that etc. word is unappropriate. I think I have to remove that. I should remove
Exactly.
that.
Exactly, I was pointing to that actually, etc. You shouldn't add etc. So it doesn't mean you just, yeah, expand that for infinite sort of, yeah, limit there.
One more thing. The main thing which is I'm worrying about is that like I did lots of CV workshop and I heard from you as well. If I add more something more, that CV will exceed to page two. And I heard and I read somewhere and got to know that your CV should not be blank on. You should fill all the pages of it. Like if I'll go on the page two, I can't be able to fill it fully. So that's
No,
why I
that's
keep it
not
on one
true.
page short.
No, Anuj, that's not true that it needs to be full page. I would say obviously with your sort of, yes, experience, like, I mean, you only have the internship and you're a student. One page should be good enough for yourself. If you can concentrate basically your strengths there on one page, that's good enough. But there's no harm actually to expand it to second page. But obviously, if you go a relevant sort of, yeah, experience you want to add there, that's absolutely fine. There's no limitation. Generally, what happens, like, I mean, for graduate or with no experience, if you basically fill 2 3 pages and you send it to recruiter, they will straight away knows actually what's the like, you got no experience, you fill 3 pages, why would they read 3 pages actually of your CV? So it's, I would say, for yourself, one page should be good enough, as long as you bring all those keywords there. I mean, that is important, the keywords. That will bring you actually to the surface actually, once you use all those keywords. So I'm sure, like, I mean, you already got like the intern, the lead national cricket team. So you are a cricketer as well. Good to know that.
Badminton player as well, sir.
So have you tried that, just for interest? I mean, have you tried that in your university? I'm sure that would have the proper sports.
Yeah, actually, I didn't go for national cricket team. I went for badminton, and the Coventry Council has 3 or 4 level of hair, and they invited me. I have the number as well, but I
That's
can't
really
get the
good.
time to get over there.
No,
I'm a better
that's
player of badminton in compared to cricket. I have
all
won
right.
badminton as well in my college and university in
No,
badminton
that's
league.
that's really good sort of, yeah, actually, and you shouldn't stop. I would encourage you to carry on with that sort of interest as well. I mean, I'm sure there will be more opportunities here than what you had back in India. I'm sure once you show, as I said, I mean, earlier we discussed it. I mean, if you show you can perform actually, so there will be opportunities even in that side as well. So don't keep that on the back burner. And I would say, yeah, do approach that sort of interest as well. So it's quite encouraging to see that in the CV. But yeah, as I said, I mean, make sure these keywords you use somehow in the your CV. In terms of, yeah, there's I won't say one, like, I mean, there's no restriction, as you said. I mean, on the second page that needs to be full as well. Even if you can approach, yeah, half of the second page, I mean, that there's no harm there. But for yourself, as a no experience, like only, yeah, the student sort of, yeah, history there, I would encourage you just to keep yourself to one page, get the best out of your experience, actually, your studies, yeah, on one page. I mean, that will do the job for yourself.
Yeah. So basically, I have to add the keywords over there and changes the some of the changes on career objective. And one more thing, I like structural engineer. So I have to put on aside or below Anuja.
I would say, yeah, put it to underneath there, Anuja, structure engineer.
Okay.
Did you see my CV? I can share my CV just to give you, I won't say, I mean, that's a perfect sort of example.
But I
uh,
have seen your CV, sir. You put over there your all the positions which you have, like structural engineering,
yeah.
BSc, MSc. Yeah, I know I have
No,
seen.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if someone pick your CV, Anuja, so they should know straight away what your, are you civil engineer, are you structure engineer, what your role is actually, so they can go straight away there. Also, I
And
mean,
what
I
if
would
I'm applying for graduate civil engineering? Should I
absolutely
add this?
don't. No, I would say, I mean, if you are keen structural sort of, yeah, the intention is to go in structure engineer, I would just add structure engineer there. It doesn't harm you basically to apply for civil engineering job. I mean, it doesn't harm you at all. I will discuss. Yeah, I think you on your questionnaire there was some questions there as well. We can go through that as well. But obviously, you're MSc structure engineer, and I'm sure you're interested in that sort of side. So I will keep it to structure engineer. Once you get a job, like, I mean, in civil engineering industry, you can change that anytime. It's no harm, fast rule there basically. But at least,
Yeah, but I have noticed that for graduate civil engineering, they also mentioned that it is okay to have masters in civil or structural. They mentioned
absolutely.
over there.
Absolutely. So they are actually what you are studying in structural engineering, they are transferable to civil engineering industry as well. So we
Yeah,
always, like, I mean, when we work on a project, I always have civils and structural engineer on the same team. So they always work together, actually, civil and structure. So you can't separate them out. So it's always there, civils and structural engineers. So you need to understand both. And as I said, I mean, you're studying structural engineering, but they are equally actually transferable to civil engineering industry as well. Yeah, your skills. That's absolutely fine. But I would say, yeah, identify yourself for the time being as structural engineering because you are doing MSc structural engineering. But it doesn't stop you to only restrict yourself to structural engineering jobs. You can certainly apply to civil engineering jobs as well. Anything else you wanna ask here, or shall we
and
move
like
on?
so you cut that prediction over the masters, so I have to remove that.
Yes, prediction. Obviously, that's your prediction. What's the guarantee? Obviously, you can say I can get the gold medal for basically there as well. But obviously, that's your personal prediction. Obviously, if you have a solid sort of, yeah, communication with your tutor, I mean, they give you the prediction there. That's fair enough. You can add that. They may ask you the same question. Okay, prediction distinction. How do you know? Actually, you're gonna get that. So don't bring actually the questions there. The more question what you would expect in the interview. As I said, I mean, when you appear for the interview, they will have your CV in front of them, and they will go through word by word your CV, what you've written there, and they will raise questions here basically. So just add the content which you know. Basically, you have the idea what you're talking about, rather than, yeah, completely blank sort of statements there. So make sure you just brush it up basically. Make sure what you're writing there you understand it. So as long you understand actually the topic, like, I mean, these keywords, make sure you understand them all, like health and safety, sustain in structure engineering terms. What does health and safety, like structure design, what does that mean for from health and safety perspective?
I have gone through an interview for health and safety engineer for
Hmm.
MI, but they are they aren't able to sponsor me because they just put me a question on me that how you are gonna put a value to our company, because you don't have any experience and we want someone as experience. So I said them, how can I get experience as a graduate? So they just deny me over there that we need someone who can put some value on our company. So that is why we
That's
started
that's where
working with
that's
them.
where Anuj it comes to the point. I mean, you need to get the basic knowledge of these topics because this will appear even in structural engineering. This is very common. Like civil structure engineering, these are very common nowadays. I mean, you need to understand that the basics. I will share some websites actually later on, so you can get some knowledge of these. And I don't want you to be masters them. It's just the basic understanding and the current legislation actually what they say actually for as an engineer what your role is actually about all these topics. So as long you have the basic knowledge, that's good enough for yourself.
And sir, other than that work experience column, just I have to put that bullet points, keywords that you give to me.
No, that's fine. Actually, I will keep it whatever your experience is. So 10 plus customer deal. When you say customers, what does that mean? Is that like a contractor or is that what was your real sort of
No,
job
that's not
actually?
contractor. That's a personal customers. They give their details to the company that we need this type of modeling, and that company give us to me and some of my colleagues, and we just have to design that, like their kitchens, their houses, their uh, full maps and all in AutoCAD. And that time we learned AutoCAD, and from
Hmm.
there we just gave that. So it's basically customers. They are not contractors.
Right. Okay. Supervise and maintains highways under experienced civil engineer which impact the rapid construction of the road. So like supervise the maintenance of highway. You need to you need to write what your role was there. Like a supervisor, were you checking the actual construction there? Were you checking the bar bending, like the steel work there? How did, or were you doing any surveys there to make sure the construction is as per the drawings? So I would expand, like I mean, your role rather than under the experience civil. But that doesn't make sense to me. Basically, if I'm reading, like I mean, you supervise the maintenance highway, what was your role? What you were supervising? How many like labors were there, or was that subcontractor you were supervising? How was your communication? So I would expand on that basis. And again, I mean, like here, you can add all the health and safety. I need to ensure health and safety has been catered for. I mean, everyone has the PPE put on. So this was my actually, so you can add that there basically in your experience rather than under experience. So it doesn't make sort of, your credibility there. Like I'm you supervising, but it doesn't give the actual your responsibility, what your responsibility were. So I would expand that, completely ignore that under civil engineer. I would say supervise maintenance highway, my responsibility included. So you can say the supervising the laborers or the contractor, ensuring adherence to the health and safety policies, checking the bar bending schedules there on site to ensure that they're compliance with the design. So these sort of things that you can add there.
One
Analyze.
more thing, how long should be a bullet point? Like a para of 4 to 3 lines?
To be honest, I
Because
mean, no, there is no limitations, but as long, again, I would repeat, as long you know actually what your role is, and you understand that, like I mean, if you're supervised like for the bridge, for instance, bridge construction was going on, you were supervising that bridge, the construction there. So there would be subcontractor you were supervising, or whether your responsibility was to ensure the compliance with the design. So I mean, it all depends. I mean, if you had so much responsibility there, you can add 4 or 5 bullets. If you had only one or two responsibility, you can just add those ones. I don't want you to expand, like I mean, specific 5 lines there and you just make it up. I mean, it's completely irrelevant about the number of your bullet points. So as long they are relevant experience to like what you're doing here, basically you're representing yourself as a structural engineer. You need to show that, and as long you show these actually keywords that this is what you have experienced, that is good enough basically for the
So in
recruiter to see.
short, what you did, how you did, and what impact did it give you, you and
Absolutely.
your company? Yeah. In short.
Absolutely. In short, you should be writing about your experience, not about the company, not about your team. Completely, that is irrelevant actually. So you need to be very specific. Should be writing in first person sort of language as well. I did this actually. I supervised this subcontractor. I managed this, or I actually assess the site situation. I assess the health and safety on site. So you need to use a lot more I word actually, because they are the employers is keen in yourself, not the company or not your team. So you should be very specific about the first person. Any more question, Anuj? Or shall we move on?
No. Yeah. Yeah, we shall move on.
Okay, let me back share the Word file. Right. Second question: how to approach, find, and connect with people on LinkedIn. So I'm sure, I mean, you have started using the LinkedIn. So it's quite easy. I would share actually my profile if I can. Where is it? It's quite annoying actually. I had to go back and forth from the screen. Uh, can you see my screen now? My
Yeah, yeah,
LinkedIn.
yeah,
Right. Okay. So I would say, I mean, obviously by now you literally know the main players actually, main
yeah,
companies. I'm sure you might have seen that video. Actually, I've shared the top sort of the big companies in civil structure engineering industry. So what you can do actually, just type in there in the search. For instance, ACOM HR. You just HR, because they are the one. I mean, they're more relevant. The HR sort of team that they go straight to their sort of recruitment team or managers. So if you search there, see that recruitment partner civil infrastructure. So you go there and just try to connect with them. Basically, simple as that. You send them a request and start negotiating with them. But obviously, I mean, it's no point if they're not recruiting. Obviously, they're not entertaining you. Other, but it's
yeah.
always
That
good
is
to,
what.
it's always good to improve your connection, because it does help down the line, Anuj. I mean, it won't help now straight away, but trust me, down the line they would have your profile on their system. So whenever there's opportunities, they would have a list. Actually, yeah, this is the graduate. Actually, he texted me, or he asked me for connection. So make sure you connect to as many as possible, and that does help. Actually, I can give you some example actually, like obviously, I mean, I got experience, so it's just very common. Like, I mean, on the LinkedIn, I will show you the messages actually. So this is my messages. So if not every week, at least, yeah, although I'm not actually looking for job, but like, I mean, see, this message is like last week. So like these sort of message you get straight away from them recruitment. Like, I mean, yeah, I've seen your profile, and are you interested to sort of, yeah. So this is very common on the LinkedIn. That's the way you need to build up your profile. The more connection you have, you are on more sort of profiles there with the recruitment, and whenever they got opportunity, they give you a message. So there's so many, like, I mean, on this I can give you so many example here. Like, I just get message like this on a LinkedIn. So we got opportunity, are you interested? Like, yeah, these sort of. So this is so common, and it's so easy. You just respond straight away, and they're interested, and they give you the interview. Basically, that's how it works. That's always, I really encourage everyone here in the UK actually use this as much as possible. I would say almost 100% the companies here, they are actually actively involved on the LinkedIn. So make sure you, especially the big players, I mean, like, I do encourage the big players, Acom, Atkins, Arup. I mean, these are the big players. Should get in touch with the HR, get them on board. And the good thing is, I mean, when they try to actually, when they upload the actually any vacancies, you get notification as well, like, oh, okay, so you can straight
Yeah,
away see.
I got it.
Yeah, so you get notification and see if that's of your interest. So the more actually you are linked with more sort of HRs, the big companies, so it becomes more easy for you to manage actually how you actually get in touch with these ones. So it's simple as that. There's no science beyond, Anuj. You just need to just check the
Yeah, I
HR.
have messaged a lot of people for the companies, and they sometimes didn't reply anything. There is
No.
no
This is
nothing
common.
possible.
It's. I know, just very common, especially for, like, I mean, obviously with no experience, yourself as a graduate, it's very limited sort of, yeah, options they have for those. And one thing I would add here as well, because the especially the overseas, I mean, the sponsorship is another hurdle as well for them. That is a big hurdle, especially in nowadays as well, because it's a new system in place basically, yeah, for the recruiter, and it costs them a lot of money as well actually to the employer to sponsor, yeah, a single person actually. So they are a bit cautious, but it doesn't mean that, yeah, you stop there. You apply, and I'm sure down the line there is a huge actually demand for engineers around the actually industry. I'm sure down the line there will be people, the employer there, and they would definitely need, yeah, the engineers there. So this is just part of the game, Anush. You need to just get on with it, apply, keep trying it, and I'm sure, trust me, I mean, down the line there will be someone that you will receive a call you would never imagine when did you apply to that one. So that's what happens actually.
Yeah, I'm just keen applying to companies.
No, absolutely, that should
Sometimes they are
be.
taking a lot of time. Like I didn't remember how many companies I applied in September or October. Sometimes I got a rejection mail right now that you have applied on that company. So
No, that's absolutely fine. And the good thing with that is you are on their record actually. So once you have responded, they have responded. That mean you are in their books. So they keep on their record. So whenever there's a relevant opportunity there, I'm sure they will get in touch. So that's what happens. I mean, you need to be consistent with your applications when you apply. So there's no hard and fast rule about, yeah, how to connect. I would simply, yeah, go through that, so sort of searching the big companies and get in touch directly. And the good thing with LinkedIn is you directly send them a message actually, like messaging.
yeah,
So that's really easy, and you can even see whether they've seen your message or not, so you get that as well. So at least, yeah, you have that confidence. Yeah, at least, yeah, I hope convey my message there, and you just wait. I mean, that's how it works actually, LinkedIn. So it's a good tool, and I highly encourage everyone actually to use this tool. Um, shall we move on to question three?
yeah. All good, all good.
Um, can you see my screen, or am I need to reshare that? The
I'm still on the
uh,
LinkedIn page.
oh, now this is so
You are not
annoying actually.
scrolling.
Uh, I have to reshare all the time. Actually, where is that one now? Okay, so
Yeah, I
question
can see.
Question three: how to deal with the graduate questionnaire while applying for graduate role. So Anuj, I mean, this is actually really it depends. There's no hard actually the standard rule about the graduate recruitment. Every company have their own policies. I mean, some company would have their recruitment process like, I mean, 2 3 different stages. I mean, you go through initial assessment, and maybe there is another, so 2 3 follow up, basically HR sort of assessment as well. uh, Personally, I would say
The main thing which I am talking about is while you are applying for a graduate job, they have 3 or 4 questions. How would you help us as a graduate engineer? Why we would you prefer you for our this role? So this type of question, you have 250 words or you have 300 words. Like for Balfour BT, they have a question: how would you gonna put some value on us? Why would we prefer you as a graduate engineer in Balfour BT?
right, okay.
And tell us in 250 words. And 250 words is very less. You have to put
No,
it in one
that's
paragraph.
yeah, that's a very good question, Anuja. So in that case, first thing, you need to understand what the role is all about. So that is very important. You need to understand what they required. So for instance, I mean, structure, if they, I mean, someone is looking for structure engineer, and they're asking for like a design, like a high-rise building design, basically. For instance, I mean, that is the job role, and they ask the same question: how would you add value, yeah, to this role? I would simply take that as the main point, basically. So for high-rise building, what do you need? You need the structure analysis software knowledge. You need to expand on that sort of side. You can bring other material like concrete, steel, and that sort of side. So you need to be more specific to what the company needs for that specific role. As long you understand what the company needs, you need to be very specific, tie in your experience based on what the company needs. They are only interested what they're looking for. So as long you
Basically,
have
what I do is I make a Word profile. I take all the all the keywords from their job description, put it on that Word file, and then I will write the answers
absolutely,
compared to that.
absolutely, that should be the way. So
But
because they
something which hurdles is that the word limit. The 250 is very less. How can I start? How can I give my
no no no
it's a cover letter
Anuj,
of 250 word.
I know, I understand, but you can pinpoint, yeah, in bullet points. Like, I mean, as I give you this example, high-rise building, you can say, yeah, the structure analysis software is this. That you can cover that. Material, yeah, yeah, the frame structure for steel, concrete, timber, you can cover that. So at least they give you a variety of options there. Like, I mean, you need structure engineers for high-rise. I've covered the software, I covered the different materials, I cover the analysis, the reports, your calculation reports, you can write them. So just a few bullet points and you can cover the maximum, basically what you can provide, yeah, based
So
on the requirement.
basically, I don't have to introduce myself, who I am, and
No, no, no,
just
no, no.
start.
No, you know, you don't need to, because they already have your CV there. They have your CV. Or you need to be very specific what they asked in the question, and that will be should be more relevant to what the job is all about. As you said, I mean, yeah, pick the main sort of, yeah, the main points from their job description. Yeah, this is what they're looking for, and tie in your experience on those main points and just write them, yeah, as a bullet point. Yeah, this is what I've done, this is
And
my
how
experience.
about like I have a 6 months of experience, and how about someone who don't have any experience? How can they put their values in
No,
250?
I know one thing should be clear, there are lots of opportunity for fresher as well, and they are not looking for experience there, they're only looking for knowledge. So as long you have that
I know about.
knowledge, yeah, you, as I said in that key points, you should have the basic knowledge actually about the softwares, about the analysis, about the actually, yeah, all those topics I've touched on in your CV. You should have the least, I mean, if you don't have experience, but you should have the knowledge which you can gain from your university. That's what that is important. That's why I always say, actually, don't waste your time when you're at the university. Get the most out of your actually your course there. You need to have the basic knowledge, because that's exactly the same you would apply in the practical life as well. So that's where it's very important. If you don't have experience, just get what you have learned in in your course actually. So like a software you learned, or you have any analysis you've done there in the courseworks, you can add those ones. So that's what. And for the graduates, I'm sure there's lots of actually advertisement for, you know, like graduates, no experience. For the fresher, although some may
They
end.
have they, they have one criteria that they put a question on that your form that you have to at least 0 to 2 years of experiment, means you whether you have no experience or you don't exceed from 2 years of experience. So graduate rule can be applied by the person who have 0 to 2 years of experience.
Exactly,
They
exactly.
have that
So
question on the application form.
yeah, so exactly, with zero experience mean you have no experience at all. But as I said, I mean, as long you have the basic knowledge from your studies, that is good enough for that role actually. So, but as I said, I mean, you need to have that knowledge. Otherwise, I mean, it's no point, because even if you're mentioned there and in the interview, they're going to ask exactly the same point there. So as long you have the knowledge, it's very crucial. You need to get the industry actually, yeah, the knowledge as much as possible. That's what you could do actually during your studies, and also when you're applying, you're not getting the job, at least keep yourself up to date to the knowledge actually of the industry. That's very important.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that question is very hectic. Like yesterday, I was filling a WSP form and AECOM as well. Uh, WSP has 5 questions. How would you gonna put value? Why would we select you? Where you gonna see yourself after 5 years?
Hmm.
And two more questions, and that's very hectic. And
No,
every
it is Anuj, but if you go through one or two, yeah, the same. Like I mean, you can add basically to your like a Word file
yeah,
all these
I
question.
did that. I did that.
And as I said, I mean, you need to ensure you understand the role requirement. That is crucial because that what they are asking the question that should be more relevant to what they're recruiting for. So as long you cover those ones, and I say it doesn't need to be really descriptive there. As long the bullet points you cover those your main topics what they're looking for, that should be good enough for yourself. Don't repeat what you already provided through your CV. You just add value basically more to your CV there. That's your opportunity, I would say, rather than yeah, it's more hectic.
Yeah,
Well, that's part and parcel of the process, Anuj. I mean, you have to go through that. I know, yeah, it's hectic when you go through the same, yeah, 3 4 times a day. But that's part of the process, actually. Unfortunately, you have to go
yeah.
through.
The main hurdle is sponsorship. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Agree. I agree. Like that is the main. Yeah, I did find actually most of the companies they are really reluctant to actually sponsor the graduates. But I'm sure. I mean, looking at the industry, Anuj, there is a huge demand, especially civil structure engineering. So I'm sure down the line there will be a point where they will give up basically that they would definitely sponsor the graduates.
Yeah, hope for the best.
Absolutely. Right. Question four: how to stand out from the rush to secure a job if you don't have experience? I would say, yeah, industry knowledge as much as possible. That's where you need to get the actually understand the industry, what's going on in the current industry, what are the big projects going on, who's working on the projects, who the main contractor, who's the client, and these are the few websites I know you very useful. I mean, for any engineer, civil structure, health and safety, sort of environmental. So these are very useful, free sort of yeah, actually information websites. You can go through them, and whenever you get a chance,
See, I'm registered for IC and I structure. I should apply for HSC EA and for that registration. I think that website needs a registration as well as a membership, student membership.
No, HSC actually is you don't need the membership there. You just get the latest information, the updates actually about the legislation. HSC don't need a registration there. ICE and I suppose you are a student member. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. For IC and IS.
Yeah,
For that
that's really good.
PhD.
Make sure you mention that in your CV as well. ICE I because that is the industry standards actually nowadays. So it's more relevant actually ICE I student you can mention yeah student member ICE. So actually I mean to stand out you need to understand the actually just the knowledge and also I just add yeah a number of things there as well like understand yeah software structure analysis communication health and safety environmental carbon emission. So these are all the main sort of you need to have the basic knowledge of these ones. I don't need to spend yeah like days or days just to yeah basically master them. I don't need you that. It's just the basic knowledge. Yeah, what's going on in the industry. As long you have the basic knowledge for yourself as a graduate, that is good enough. How does and in how many ways my course would help me to secure MSc. So, as I said, Anuj, you need to get the best out of your course. I mean, what you're studying, like whether that is your analysis, your softwares, your other knowledge. I mean, you're getting about the health and safety, about sustainability. The most you gain actually from the course, that can go in your CV as a graduate as well. and that's going to help you, because that you can capture all the keywords there from your knowledge. Basically, you studied about all those keywords that we discussed earlier. So as long, I mean, you cover the basic sort of, yeah, I would say for the industry, the basic knowledge that should come from your course. Actually, that is your starting point, what you're studying currently. So as long, I mean, you have the grip, the knowledge of that from you in from your studies, that's what is going to help your CV and ultimately, yeah, getting the job. uh, I can't give you more precise actually how else actually, because I remember when I studied structural engineering, it was more oriented to the design and analysis. So we studied all the steel structures, concrete structure, timber structure, masonry structure, so design. So that was completely relevant to the industry straight away. So whatever we learned there, like analysis of a building or analysis of the bridge there, that was straight away relevant to my industry actually. So when I would apply actually straight away, yeah, we exercised that actually in our course. That's how I got actually in my CV that, yeah, I've done this basically in my course. That's how relevant that is actually, your course. So as long you have a good grip on your studies, that's definitely is going to brush up your CV and ultimately, yeah, lead you to the recruiter, to the job.
One more thing, the main thing is driving license. And for every application process, they ask one thing, whether you have a driving license or not.
Yes,
So
Anuj, I would say a driving license is important for especially the site works, like I mean, a site engineer work, because they expect you to do a regular site visits to the construction sites. But if you are applying for like a designer, like with for the consultant, like as a designer, although the,
for
no,
every
that's
position they ask this question, whether you are applying for a design, a supervising, for every process, every
no,
position.
that's fine. But to be honest, I mean, it's not that much requirement. I mean, although there might be a question, you can say no, but that shouldn't be the driver to reject you. I mean, if you are applying for like a designer, as I said, you won't travel actually to the site on a daily basis actually, because as a designer, I work in the design industry, so I rarely go out on site actually. So I never use my driving license. So what's the point actually getting a driving license? So if you're not using it, but I know, yeah, it is always a positive thing. I mean, if you can manage it, absolutely, that is a bonus for yourself. Make sure you get one, because ultimately you will need one anyway. So it's better to manage one. But it's not the showstopper for, especially for the designer. I mean, for the site engineers, definitely that is the showstopper for them, because if they can't travel, yeah, to the site, that is the showstopper for them. But for the designers, I won't say, yeah, that is any hurdle.
And the other question is, do you have work permit to work? Do you have proper license to work here in the UK? So we have post study work visa. So what we put, yes or
Yes,
no?
yes, you should put. Yeah, I have the 2 years eligibility. Yeah, you can explicitly say that. Yeah, you are eligible to work. So that is the work permit for 2 years. Yeah.
And some companies who have the license, they ask at the last of that, whether you need, or you need in future any sponsorship. On
If
that
they
question
say
you have.
no, if they're really explicit in the future, obviously you need to say yes. I mean,
Yes.
you can't actually, yeah, trick them. But obviously, if you say, yeah, have you got a work permit? So you could simply say yes, you have at the moment. Once
like for like for MA, they asked me this question. They asked this question as well, whether you need any sponsorship in future. And I cleared that first round, second round video interview. Then one day before the assessment center, they called me about my work eligibility. On that, I said this. I have this. I have the work study visa up to 25. They just told me that, yeah, sorry, we can't sponsor you. We are not sponsoring right now any graduate, because no graduate will put any value on our company. We are looking for someone who has experience of at least 5 years. So on that basis, I just got rejected. And for Royal Husking, Maybe that was my first interview over here in the UK after landing. When I landed on the UK after 10 to 15 days, I had that interview. I didn't think that interview was well enough for me to qualify.
Mhm.
So I think I got rejected on that.
No, no, that's good. At least you have gone through the process, Anuj. So that is really positive from
Yeah,
yourself.
that interviewer very tricking you. They just want you to put in any nervousness and all. They are very tricking. They
No,
always
that that's
crack
that's
you with
that's
your
where
questions.
absolutely. So that's very really important when you experience this beforehand, because at that point when you start your study, obviously you are not eligible to work anywhere like a permanent job, but at least yeah, this give you the flavor actually what to expect in the future. And
Yeah.
that is the period actually. What you're doing now is absolutely brilliant actually. So I always encourage, yeah, the students always start from the very beginning when they start their studies, I mean, to apply and just go through the process. Now Anuj, you going through like a application process and you going through the interviews, so you have that confidence actually, that competency which other students, I mean, if they leave it to the last minute, they won't have that. They need to gain that with the time, so they are wasting their time once they complete it. They need to go through this process what you're going through already. So that's really positive. You already gone through during your studies, I mean, this process, you clear that process. Now you know actually what to expect in the future
Yeah,
in the
that experience helped me for that Canadian job interview. They just called me
absolutely.
randomly for, and that interview went for at least 45 minutes. They asked me every question, and they were like, "We were just asking you normally. We were just want to you something from you and all." And after 2 days, I got offer letter. Uh, they didn't take any technical interview of mine. Maybe if you are not prepared well, you will do something better. So I was not nervous. I just gave answer to every question. This proper communication skill. I was able to put my answer into their mind, and they just impressed. Maybe I don't know. After two
Uh-huh.
days, I got offer letter. But
That's really impressive. Just on
that
that job, Anuj, did you rejected that job, or is it still in hand, or what did you say?
no, I talked with them that please give some time because I have to graduate, because that job is for civil and structural engineering. They want me as a structural engineer,
Hmm.
so I don't have any degree of structural engineering yet now. So they told me they even they was angry because they told me that you wasted their time, because on that job description there was written that immediate start. I just applied. I
Uh-huh.
applied, so I just sent CV, but they told me that you have two options, whether you can start from 1st of May or 1st of June. We can't wait for you up to October or November.
So
You
did
have
did
to
you
accept or deny.
so did you deny, or you still a question?
No, I denied that. I had only 5 days
No,
up
that's
to
that.
16th
No,
of.
well, no, I was more thinking because I had, if I remember correctly, I had similar interview when I was doing my masters, and what I negotiated at the time that I said to them, actually, it was on my second, yeah, if I remember correctly, it was in my second semester when I started doing that, and I had the offer. It was in the UK, obviously, and when they like, it was really good interview, mine as well, and they give me offer straight away in the interview. They said, yeah, they like it, and they want to give me offer, and I started there actually. Well, it was just in mind actually. Obviously, my course was exactly the same as yours, like finishing in September. But obviously, it was exactly the same. Like the project was starting in May. So I told them, I mean, this is where I'm, and my dissertation will start in May. I can manage the job with my dissertation, and I need to I need to get 1 day off for my dissertation. I mean, this is how I negotiated at the time.
But the bonus point for you, sir, that the job was from UK, and they want me in the Canada at May 1st or May
No,
4th.
Anuj, and it does work actually. I mean, like if you imagine, I mean, I've done that, and they accepted that offer. Actually, the company said that's fine. Like if you do that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
talked with them. I talked very much. They said, no, 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 it was your fault. You had to read that immediate start. I mailed HR team and everything. They said no.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start your visa process from now, and we want you up to there. And that is why they just gave me 5 days. You have 5 days, whether it accept or deny. We are looking for someone else. They just gave me 5 days,
Uh-huh.
and I negotiate very well that please give me some time. I am second semester. I have to this. They said no, no, it was your fault. You had to read the job description. We were very disappointed. They just said we were very disappointed from you.
No, no, Anuja, that's good. You got the experience now, like going through all this process. This is really, really good experience for your future. And trust me, I mean, this will come around time and time again. Actually, these sort of opportunities. So don't be just regretting. I mean, what's going. Actually, just look at the future. What you learned from that experience. I mean, that's what's going to help you in the future. So, like, I mean, down the line, if similar sort of, yeah, you need to be at the forefront. I mean, if similar opportunity comes, they like you need to be at the forefront. You need to, in the negotiation as well. That is part of your recruitment process as well, the negotiation stage.
Yeah,
So you need to be mentally prepared. Like, obviously, I mean, if similar situation comes next time, what should I do actually? Or what should I request them? So that's where you learn. So every step is a learning curve, and that is really good. I mean, where you are actually, you're still in second semester and you're going through all this experience. So it's really, really positive. I really actually, I'm really impressed actually where you are actually in your sort of career now. So keep going. What you're doing, I'm sure. Yeah, by the time you finish your dissertation, you get the degree. I'm sure you'll be settled in, yeah, somewhere professionally.
yeah. Now I think I'm a bit confident because from September they are looking for 23 or immediate start. I can apply because right now lots of company have finished their graduate job. I think so. Yeah, some of the companies have some jobs, but they are mostly finished from September to March or up to February. Every places and everything. Yeah. So now, I think this experience helped me for the next.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're going through the process, so that certainly is going to help. Right. Let's move on to the your bonus tips and guidance. So it's quite simple, actually. I think we gone through quite a number of things already. So keep yourself up there with the industry. So make sure you read and time spent on these websites, ICE, HSC, EA. This is environmental agency, so it's all about the environmental, yeah, sustainability sort of side as well. So make sure you read some time, yeah, spend some time on these websites just to keep yourself updated to the legislation. Enhance your knowledge in specific industry. This is a really, really important point for your future. It's not now what I'm talking about, like, I mean, right immediately. What it means by this, Anuj, that you need to be master in a specific sort of, yeah, niche, like whether you are a structure engineer, and then within the structure engineering you are really good at the, for instance, the software usage, so you're masters in software usage. There's plenty of softwares around actually in the industry. So you need to make sure you concentrate on your niche and you become yourself a masters, like completely full furnished on that simple one sort of topic there. That is a really, really important from your future perspective. I didn't realize is I mean this topic until I got like 10 years experience. So I didn't realize this thing until then, when I realized basically, oh, actually I need to do ICE, the membership for ICE. And from there on, I understand actually civil engineering industry, and I got more and more knowledge in the civil industry and specific to railway civil industry. That's where I realized actually people are now actually putting me to that sort of stage that I'm competent in that sort of my niche. So whenever, like, I mean, I join a company, or I actually I've been asked actually about anything that are very specific about civil engineering industry. For instance, I'll give you example. Like currently I'm working for a company, and like whenever there is any issues from the side or from within the company about civil engineering railway term, that comes to me. So they consider me as a leader in that sort of niche. and that's where your demands really goes to the top basically. So what, and there's always a demand for a specific niche. I mean, wherever, whether it's a civil engineer, is a structure engineer, and within the civil or structure engineering, you can choose a specific topic there. Like, I mean, your software skills, as I said, I mean, as long you are masters in that one, the industry or the company you're recruiting, you're working for, wherever there's a problem, they would know Anuj is the one actually he can solve the problem, and that's where you become that leader there. It's very, very important for your career, and you need to identify that niche from the very onset. I mean, actually, the earlier you identify that niche, the easier it becomes, because you got a path actually to travel to. And as I said, I mean, I didn't knew about this until like 10 years experience, because I was in the same impression, like I should go for structure, I should go for civil engineering, I should go for different industry, building, railway, highways. So there was so many stuff around there. I didn't realize that until, yeah, I got to the point, no, I need to concentrate on a specific field. So that is really important. You need to identify your niche and work towards that. Yeah, that sort of the high level sort of the competency there in a specific field. That is for your future plan actually. So that enhance your knowledge in specific industry. CPD is very, very important. This is continuous professional development. So you need to keep update yourself. I mean, if you join a company, I'm sure this will be part of their strategy, how to actually improve your knowledge. So there'll be specific sort of training that will give you, and you need to keep on top of that. Basically, there's always updates in every standards, in every softwares. There's updates coming on all along. You need to keep up to date yourself basically with those updates. Otherwise, I mean, if you don't get updated, you will be outdated yourself from the industry. Simple as that. So you need to keep update yourself, be at the forefront front foot, and by that I mean ICI strict team membership is very, very important. And by that, it's not just the student membership. Obviously, it's good you have the basic knowledge. You need to just read a lot more about the industry if you go to their website. But by that mean, you need to be on the actually on that chartership route. Obviously, whatever industry you ended up, whether you are in civil, I mean, for the from the job, or you go into the R-T, which is for the structure, you need to become basically a member there and pave and identify actually your career when you're going to get that chartership. It takes at least 3 to 4 years, the least, I would say, in your experience. Once you start job and 3 to 4 years experience, but I would highly recommend, as soon you get a job, you need to be at the forefront. I need to get a membership there, and you identify your leaders basically who's going to support your membership, and you go that actually you plan that from the very forefront actually. I wasted a few years actually initially when I started my career. So certainly I regret that time, 3 4 years I didn't do anything about the my membership. So that's my personal experience. It's very, very crucial, especially nowadays. It's very competitive market. So you need to be at the top actually to get that ICE. And even the actually it doesn't necessarily mean you need to get the chartership, and that's where you enhance. Obviously that is enhancing your career and also your opportunities around. But even when you start the process, that gives you an edge as well actually, because mostly if you see the actually the advertisement, they will say nearly chartered engineer. I mean, that is mentioned as well actually, nearly chartered. That means you've started the process. Obviously you are on the pathway there. So as long you started that in your early career, you are eligible to apply to those sort of jobs as well. You are on career path actually to achieve that. So that is really important at the earliest stage of your career. Perseverance, so consistency. You need to be consistent. Obviously it comes at this stage only. I mean, once you get the graduate job sorted, Anuj, there'll be lots of opportunities around. Trust me. You once you in the industry, you would understand a lot more actually when you stay in the industry, and there'll be lots of opportunities there. The perseverance is currently what you're going through, so you need to apply consistently to the project. Don't be disheartened. I'm sure, yeah, what I'll listen from yourself, you are on the right path. Actually, you are applying, yeah, to the right jobs. You're getting the notification, you're getting the interviews. That's really, really positive there. But yeah, I mean, if you don't get a positive response, don't be disheartened. It's part of the game, actually. So you have to go through this process. It's not as if, I mean, everyone that whoever do the master straight away, they're going to get on the job. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So what you're going through, that is part of the process, but you need to be consistent. Don't give up and just carry on, yeah, with the same pace. Don't leg it basically. No, I'm going to apply tomorrow, I'm going to apply next month or whatever. Just make it consistent application there, and I'm sure, as I said earlier, there'll be down the line somewhere, someone is going to call you. You would never remember that. What's going on? Why they call me from there? When did I apply there? It does happen, and it happens here personally to me as well. So trust me, that is the game. Don't hesitate to try different things. Construction, civil industry. So this is actually, I experienced that when actually, because initially my experience was the design side. So I was in the design sort of, yeah, technical side. Even I did the team leading sort of roles as well in the design. But I got opportunity about 6, 7, 8 years later in my career. I got opportunity to go into construction, basically as a construction CRE, we call it. So it's a contractor responsible engineers for construction, which is basically the lead role for construction. So I got that opportunity. Obviously, I didn't had previous experience, but the company was interested. I had the background, actually the design background. I had the knowledge of the design, but I didn't have the construction industry experience. But they give me opportunity. I tried that, and trust me, that changed my perception about the design. So it immensely enhanced my career as well. So I had the knowledge of how the construction work is completely different than the design, because there's lots of things you don't even think when you are a designer, because there's lots of on the spot sort of solution you need to bring when you are you're dealing with the construction. Like obviously, I mean, if there's for construction, if they start digging, for instance, for foundation, and they found that something there, yeah, the buried services or some cables there in the digging. So you need to bring that solution straight away. Obviously, as a designer, you got a big span of sort of time. You need to design the foundation, and you check whatever you got the information. So you had a big span there. But on the construction, you have to take the decision straight away on site. Okay, okay, you dig that. What's the solution there? That's where that enhances your sort of capability, the decision making sort of, yeah, profile there. Your health and safety improves quite a lot on site, basically, because you have to deal with all the issues, yeah, the health and safety issues on site. That take you to the next level, actually, the construction. So don't hesitate if there's opportunity. I mean, like, yeah, in from the contractor side, generally, yeah, the way the industry split in the UK is like, I mean, consultant and contractor. So consultants, obviously, I mean, they are dealing with the design side only, and contractors are the one who deal with the construction. So if there's opportunity with a contractor, don't hesitate, just go for it, try it. And obviously, I mean, if you don't like it, you can always come back. But trust me, the way actually that enhance my career, the way they enhance actually the construction enhance my sort of, yeah, knowledge there, that was immense. So don't hesitate. I mean, if there's opportunity, go for it. I mean, simple as that. Don't think like, I mean, what's going to happen to my initial sort of, yeah, you start design, what's going to happen to that? You always have the chance to come back. I mean, trust me, that's always the case. Like currently, I'm back in the design. So obviously, I've experienced 2, 3 years in the construction. I'm now back in the design. I'm in the same similar role what I've been doing in the past as well. So at least now it opens more doors for me as well. Like, if there's opportunity in the construction industry, I can always jump there as well. So it just enhances my sort of career there. So don't hesitate. Just jump for it.
Yeah. And the main thing from this all aside, the main thing is your communication skill. How you gonna put your word to the other member, yeah, whether they can understand it or not. This what this all the courses are come after this. If you are not able to what you are saying and the other person can understand that, then it doesn't uh, worth it to
Absolutely.
have any technical
No,
skills.
absolutely. That is fundamental communication.
Yeah,
And you trust me, the way you communicate, the way your English is brilliant. I mean, that's all it needs actually from communication. As long you have the knowledge of your industry, that's where it makes you basically visible. That's make you an edge over your peer. So the knowledge is the fundamental as well. So you need to have the knowledge of your niche, your subject. As long you have that in your bag, trust me that there's no stoppage there. You will go up and up.
yeah. And one more thing, what I have thought in India that structure is engineering is going to be everywhere. It's very difficult course, very hard. It's hard.
To be honest, I mean, Anuj, I was interested in in structure as well. Obviously, I did my BSc similar as yourself, civil engineering, and then structure. I didn't find it that hard because I was that keen actually from the civil engineering when I did the modules there, the structure engineering module. I was really keen, I mean, to go more and explore that structural engineering. I found it, to be honest, I mean, easy rather than the other. Like, I don't like management, to be honest, and that's why I was avoiding
Same.
more. Yeah, I was avoiding that side, so I thought, yeah, the technical side is more relevant to me, and I found it, yeah, quite easy. Maybe I was more interested. I was trying actually, like, I mean, at my home as well, like different sort of structures, the frame structure, different materials. In my spare time, I was trying to do, yeah, those sort of analysis structures. But
Yeah, fair
un-
enough. I did a lot of research that uh, you are not going to be that much of English that you can compete with the British guy in the management scene. But you have that knowledge for the technical skill because technical skill needs your brain, and it
is
needs your communication skills as well. But yeah, you have to be very sharp with your brain in for technical role. That is why I basically choose structural engineering, and I don't have that interest for management as well. Maybe yeah, management is also good, but for me, technical is better as compared
down
to
the
management.
line, Anuj, I mean, down the line, at some point in your career, you have no choice. You will become the manager. Basically, that's what happened in my career. So, like, I mean, you reach to a point where you have to manage teams. Basically, that will be working for yourself, and you
That role everyone wants, yeah, to lead a team.
that,
It's
that's
so
that's what I'm
very
saying. So down the
meaningful.
line, when you got that knowledge, that experience, you have like done a number of projects basically, and then because the company don't expect you to work as a designer because that wasting your knowledge. You have so much knowledge where you can actually transfer that knowledge to your teams. Like, you have technician, you have designers, like, I mean, two three sort of teams you can manage at the same time, rather than, yeah, doing you as a designer, which is just a simple role basically that if someone else can do, you can manage them two three different designers at the same time. That's where your role is going to change, although
Yeah.
without any wish. I,
That is what you gained from last 15 years of experience.
absolutely, absolutely, that's where I'm saying,
You
like,
have to put it now for the company.
and I never wish to come to that management side, but this is inevitable. Basically, you have to move to that stage basically to become a team leader, design manager sort of role, because you have no choice. The company wants you to lead, like, not just yourself, but to lead other teams. Basically, that's what they expect of you.
Yeah, fair enough. So, but the first initial state technical role always put you to the company first as compared to management skill. If you are an international student, because for like construction project management, we have a lot of students. We have a lot. But for structure, we were just only 10. So we have to
Mm.
compete within 10 students. And on that, we don't have any British guy. So we have just, we need our brain for
No,
technical skill.
that's correct. Because this is very niche subject. Structure engineering is very niche. Communication, yeah, it is actually with the experience you can learn that sort of skills as well. It's a soft skill, obviously, but structural engineering is a hard skill. So you can compare that the two different sort of, yeah,
That
aspects
is what
there.
I'm saying. Yeah, whether we have a good communication skill, we have a good English or not, but we were in India from last 22 years, and that from here, the local people, they are here from last 22 years, so they have a bit of good communication skills as compared to you. So you have to be more convinced with your technical skills so that you can beat them. So that
Absolutely.
is what I researched a lot, and that's why I just came for the structural engineering. Or first, I initially started for MSc civil engineering because I got a sports scholarship from Leeds Beckett. But unfortunately, I didn't go through it because of my late bachelor's degree. I have completed on September.
Right.
And
Okay.
initially, it had to be completed at May, but due to COVID, so
Hmm.
that's why they just deny me for the scholarship. Then I came to Coventry University.
Oh, right. Okay. No, it's really pleasing actually to see your progress. Anuj, you are on the right path. Trust me. There are lots of students they are struggling, but I wish, I mean, every student should learn from yourself. I mean, where you are at the moment. And as I said, I mean, like, perseverance, consistency, you need to show that, and you get that knowledge during your study time. You get that knowledge what you already gain, actually, the CV sort of, yeah, the application, the interview sort of stages you go through, that should be done at your study sort of level. And what, by the time you complete your study, you should be ready for the job rather than you're learning these skills. So that's exactly is what is required by the industry. So you are on the right path, and I wish you really really best of your luck. And I'm sure down the line I will receive a message from Sof that you got a job, and that's what I'll be waiting for.
The best. One more thing, sir. Could you please share this Word file and that CV file so that I can improvise my CV and all?
Absolutely, absolutely. I will share the CV, and I will do a bit of editing to the this video. So it's gone actually more than 1.5 hours now. Actually, we started 11. It's 12:39 now. So the problem with me is when someone talk me about civil engineering, structural engineering, so I get so excited I can't stop talking. So that's the problem with me actually. Uh,
And that's a good of you, sir. Absolutely, that's a good of you. And one more thing, sir. If you get something to refer someone, so please consider me as well.
Anuj, definitely. I'm just thinking. But to be honest, I mean, Anuj, if I'm honest, what I found, as I said, the sponsorship is the main hurdle. Like,
Yeah,
whatever company I came across, everyone needs people. Everyone needs engineers. And as I said, I mean, I do receive emails and actually communication from the recruiter as well on literally every week. Like, I mean, they need people here and there. And I got, yeah, lots of other sort of, yeah, potential sort of, yeah, the candidates there as well, experience as well. But when I asked the question about the sponsorship, they said no, currently they're not entertaining actually any sponsorship. But definitely, I'll keep you in the loop. I mean, if there's any opportunity comes along, and yeah, definitely you will be on the list there.
yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know the sponsorship is the main hurdle over everything I ever hear. I've seen that. And
Mm,
most of the rejections were because of sponsorship. Yeah, they are not able to speak directly, but yeah, the sponsorship is the main hurdle.
yeah, trust me. I've been actually in the management sort of, yeah, team meetings as well. And I can tell you, yeah, the truth. I mean, that is the main hurdle for the companies to recruit. It's not just because it's costing quite a lot actually to the company as well. And what the worries is, Anuj, is they don't want to go through the hustle, actually recruit someone, and they can't perform. That is the main actually, yeah, the worry they
One
have.
personal question, how much does it cost for a person to sponsor?
I think for the company, each year they have to pay. Obviously, first thing they need to get the sponsorship. Yeah, the company, which is cost. I don't know how much that cost, but each employee they're paying £1,000 per year, and there's other fees as well. Actually, they're paying. I think per person, they are spending about £6,000. I believe that is the round figure. Uh,
That's why they are not preferring us. They thought that why would we spend this much of amount? But this much of amount, if you put this amount on the other person, they can learn a lot. And the hustle and bustle, the solicitors and all everything.
No,
That's why.
Anuj, but that's what I said earlier as well. But we are at the point where the engineers are required, but there's no qualified engineers out there. So that's where I believe there will be a point where that bubble is going to burst actually, and it will start. Trust me, it will start at a point that will recruit engineers with to provide the sponsorship, and that will be the case.
Hope so.
Anything else, Anuj?
No, no, sir. Everything is
Yeah,
fine.
it was really lovely to speak to you. I hope this was a useful session for yourself. And if you still go down the line, any question, anything, I know, just email me. So
Yeah, yeah,
we
sure,
can
sure.
communicate later on as well.
I'll email you or I will mostly text you on LinkedIn.
You
And
you
you
could do
replying
that.
me as well.
Yeah, you could do LinkedIn as well. I'm active on LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
I
much, sir.
wish you the very best
Pleasure
of luck.
to
Yeah. Thank
pleasure
you
to
very
talk
much.
with you, sir.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.